Hi, how are you? And welcome. Welcome to Emerald Blue Phoenix, and this is all about astrology, but it's for business and career. And that's always a slightly different focus to personal development. So I just want to broaden what we've been talking about in the personal concepts and put that into the business concepts. My background is very corporate and also a lot of management coaching, very much on the global scale and also on the global field for some really big companies all over the world. So, what I want to do is harness that knowledge I've gained through my years in the corporate collective, if you like, and move that with the astrology so that we come up with some initiatives and some ideas that allow you to use what what I've been talking about in terms of the movements in the sky. So this is what we're going to be looking at, and this is really great. When I first started, I actually thought I could be able to do them together, the personal, and then have a look at what was happening from the business perspective, but I just can't. So if you want to see the personal astrology and the personal tarot, they're already up. So we've got a lot going on. We are currently at the end of a process for most of us, an end of a cycle. We've got 5 planets in retrograde, and we've had that and will have that for most of the year, although a lot of them will start to come out September, October, November. But what does that mean? What does that mean for us in terms of running a business? Well, what this means for us is often it's the end of a cycle, it's the end of a phase, and we're really getting pushed by these planets going into retrograde to review where we're at, either in terms of our career, in terms of our business, or even transitioning from having a career working in other people's companies to setting up your own. So talking with a lot of people and doing astrology for a lot of people, I'm seeing that a lot of people in change mode and wanting change and waiting for change and really looking for it. So that's one of the things that's generally happening with a lot of people, and this is particularly true in terms of career and business. So that's one aspect. So a lot of us are over the old and we're looking for something new, but we're really on that cusp. Some of us, it's falling into place nicely and we're moving into our new business or our new career and a change of job and maybe a change of career style. In the business, it might be a change of focus for that business. But others of us are still sitting here going, what are we doing? How are we going? What to make sense? That's perfectly normal for some of us to have sorted some stuff out because we're all on a different path and we're all going on a different direction, right? So those who are on their way and are really happy on their way, I'm going to talk to you about that, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to those people or those of us who are still thinking about, I want to change, but I have no idea what. So let's see what's happening in the astrology. For those of us who know what we want to do and we've got that direction, this is a lovely new moon happening in Virgo on August 30th, and it's a fabulous time for starting anything new. So as I spoke earlier about, it was a great time for us to get this sense of who we are and what our business does, or who we are and what value we offer, and be able to articulate that. Virgo is going to continue with that articulation. We're going to be extremely articulate with Virgo coming in and this new moon. We are just really going to know what to say and when to say it, which is fabulous. And we're going to feel very comfortable saying it. Virgo is one of the earth planets, and earth is very practical, it's very grounded. So whatever you say, it should have great clarity. And that should be really fantastic in terms of moving that forward. On the other hand, the other thing that's going to be happening, and this is a little bit of a contradiction, but we've just had 2 big planets change direction. And one of my big planets, Jupiter, which is enormous, and it's the great optimizer. So whatever is happening, Jupiter's going to optimize it. It'll optimize both good and it'll optimize bad. And that's Jupiter. It doesn't care, it doesn't differentiate, it just optimizes. But it really wants you to make value, so it's beneficial in terms of trying to make things good for you. But if you're feeling unstable, again, it's going to expand and accelerate that. So if you've got fears about going forward, just double check with those and double check in with your heart chakra. This is not a good time for anyone to get bogged down in too much thinking in the brain. We're going to have cyclic thinking. We're not going to be able to get clear of that because Virgo is also detail. So it's going to be screaming for details. And often when we start a new venture, we don't know what all those details are, right? It's a leap of faith. Maybe we know we can do 80% of it, but maybe we're not 100% sure exactly what it's going to look like when we take it to the public or exactly what it's going to look like when we start that job. So that's just something to be thinking about. The other aspect I want you to be thinking about is Uranus has just gone into retrograde. Uranus is the great awakener. It throws up opportunities, but Uranus doesn't take prisoners. It likes to challenge you about what you're doing and how you're doing it. So one of the things that's going to come under the microscope is you're going to be having a good think, not just about what the business is that you're doing or what your job is, but also how you're going about doing that. And that's going to be put under pressure. And if there's something you don't like about how you're doing your business or your job, whether it's the people you're working with or the project you're working with or your partners, that's going to really become into focus, become crystal clear, and you're going to be able to articulate what that problem is. And I think that's really fascinating and essential for us to understand what that thinking is. So that's a lovely thing. Sorry, my dog just kicked the microphone. It's painful if she kicked the microscope. So that's what we're working with at the moment. We're going to be articulate, but we're also going to be articulate those things that we're not 100% happy with. So that's something I want you to be aware of in your thinking. If you start to get in this cyclic thinking and unable to break back, one of the things that's also happening now, because we've got Venus trining with Uranus, we've got Mars trining with Uranus, we've also got the Sun and Mars trining with Uranus, so we've got a lot of stuff happening. And that's really good, except it's going to be really highlighting Uranus, and Uranus likes to mix things up. So anything that you were feeling uncomfortable about, it's about to become really crystal clear what you're uncomfortable about. And that's the beauty of it. The other thing that's going to do is that Uranus likes to give you opportunities, but it likes to give you opportunities that you're not expecting, or likes to give you opportunities in a way that is unexpected. So often what happens when we're in the corporate career or we're in the business, whatever it is, we get a mindset about how things should be done, what is the right way to be doing something, and what does that look like. And Uranus is here to really toss that around. So don't be surprised if you're going to see some opportunities and you're going to want to take those, but it's going to be a little bit unsettling because the methodology or the actual aspect of it yourself is going to be unusual for you. But I think all of that's kind of exciting, and this is really what Uranus is all about. So there's going to be points of uncertainty. There's going to be almost some points of conflict, both inner conflict with you, but also conflict with your colleagues when it comes to talking about strategy and objective. What I want you to get is, don't forget, I want you to get back in contact. Don't forget what made you want this. Don't forget the passion. So some of us might find that we've been a little drained and we've lost focus a little bit, and this is where we need to get the passion back. We need to fall in love with our projects again. We need to fall in love with the opportunity of that. And if we can start to fall in love again with what we're doing with our work, that will get us out of our head and back into the focus and the strategy for it, and that will take us a long way forward. The other thing, of course, that's going to be happening is Virgo is all about details, so some of us are going to be really bogged down in details. And because what's happened is we've got all these retrogrades happening, what's going to be happening is that we'll have thought we've finished something, and it's all fantastic, and then we'll go and do something, and then we'll go, oh, I didn't finish that off. So anything that you haven't finished off in terms of your project or your work or even your infrastructure and setting up your business or your new project, it's going to come back and it's going to be shown to you quite clearly. So it doesn't matter how much you think you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's, this is what's going to be coming forward for you. The other thing I just wanted to brief, and I'll leave that down, that's for those of us who are knowing where we're going and we're feeling comfortable with what we're doing and we've made the change and we're on the start. For those of us who are just hanging out for change and we're really wanting to happen, just let you know that it's going to come soon. You're going to get this clarity. That's one of the things that will come with this new moon. And also we've got Mercury, which is the great communicator, also moving into Virgo. So you're going to get news about what these changes that you've been waiting for, these changes are. But remember, Uranus is at play. So the changes and the form of these changes may not be what you were exactly anticipating. It might be taking you on a little journey of discovery, and that's very, very exciting. The other thing I'm going to say to you about Uranus and looking at change is that Uranus is about variety and difference. It's about the new, it's about forcing us to expand what we were thinking about. Now that's the aspect of Uranus, and that's being doubly expanded because we've just had Jupiter, the great optimizer, going forward. So it's really pushing us to think quite laterally about what we're doing. So for anybody who is thinking either or, and that's very common, especially when you're feeling stressed, we get quite focused on what we want the outcome to be, what the outcome should be, what we want it to look like. I'm here to tell you, I think the outcome that you are pushing for, you need to just let go of any preconceived ideas of what it's going to look like. The result of the outcome, if you like, the outcome of the change is going to be what you want or possibly what you need, but exactly what it's going to look for is not going to be what you are expecting. And the reason that I'm telling this to you is that you could actually be missing out on messages and missing out on options that are being presented to you because it's just not in your field of vision. So please open up your field of vision and just be very open to what you could see coming in. So that's really what's happening at the moment in the sky. It's asking us to think differently and to be open to opportunities. Bus going past in my street. The road's just gone busy. So what I want you, at least in my street, so that's what I want you to be having a really good think about is are you leaving behind or neglecting opportunities because at this point in time you think they don't fit well with where you want to go and what you want to do. So just be open to opening up your mind about that, and you might be surprised what you find. So likewise, what I was talking about before, if you're uncertain about the direction, start to get passion about what you want to be doing, what you want to see in your life, how you want your life to be evolving for you. And if you start to get passionate about that, you're going to start to lift your energy. You're going to go from head into heart, which is really nice. Virgo season will not let you leave behind the head. Don't worry about that. You will never leave behind the facts, the how-tos, when, what, when, why. You will always keep those because it's the season. But you need to get a little bit more expansive, and the heart is about expanding. And once you've expanded the heart, the mind will come with it. And that's really what I want you to do. So there you are. There it is, August the 30th. Great time for new starts, but it's time for us to get quite passionate about what we want to get into and reignite and reconnect with that dream or that drive. And that will then take us and show us the next direction we need to go in. And it's also a time for us to be quite expansive and not get too locked down with what we think should be the outcome, because Uranus is not into giving you what you think you should get. It's into giving you what would be great for you to have. Very different. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I'll let you know when I'm up with the next update. Once we start getting some stuff happening in the sky. Don't get too stuck in your head. That's the only thing I'm going to warn you about. Don't get too stuck in your head. Tarot's up next. I'll see you later.